Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Welcome back to 80 Days. We are on the road to Agra. We are on day 20 of our 80-day journey. Well, hopefully it takes less than 80 days. We're down to a little under 2,000 pounds. It's a Sunday. The Grand Trunk Road, stretching from Afghanistan to Bengal, was an ancient trade route. The Marias had once used it to trade with the ancient Greeks, and now the British Empire had repaved and restored it for their own purposes. Mechanical palanquins laden with trade goods, that's what we're riding on here, like these mechanical oxen pulling the sweet thing, jostled alongside troop transports and traffic-thick steam carriages imported from England. All were brightly painted, each one bearing to the individual's mark. I mean, I don't know if we would think it's garish or not, if it's like what we came from. I had no doubt the traders and drivers, perhaps even their families, had mixed their own sweat with the paint. That's a gross way to mix paint. The day's journey passed quickly, a blur of color and sound, and it was only as the sun dipped below the horizon that the pelicans lit their phosphorescent lamps, and I realized that we had reached the city of Lahore. Give me the whores! Through Delhi to Agra. I wonder if we should have stopped in Agra. Fogg is enjoying this trip, apparently. It was only a short distance from Lahore to Delhi. We had been promised it was a particularly well-maintained stretch of road. I played with Monsieur Fogg? No, I want to call out to the other vehicles. And spent a pleasant afternoon in conversation with the traders and troops who traveled alongside us. I am the personal valet of Monsieur Fogg. But I do not want to get back and tell my children and grandchildren someday, I went around the world! They'll be like, what'd you do? I only combed my boss's mustache. No, I'm going to talk to people and have adventures. I dress like a woman, for God's sake. I called up to the other vehicles and spent a pleasant afternoon in conversation with the traders and troops who traveled alongside us, hearing from the nervous British ragamuffin the airships from Colombo, he's a great detective, make short work of the Bay of Bengal. Interesting. We do have perks in our luggage to help us with air travel. So what is that? Colombo air travel. Oh, Colombo. I'm going to write it down. Air. I don't know if we'll use it or not. An afternoon well spent, though I was not sorry to see the ancient fortified walls of Delhi, please give me a sandwich, appear out of the haze of dust ahead of us. We're going to continue on. We continued on. I was wary of being on the road so long, despite the remarkable cities and sights we had seen since departing Kabul. Yet when Agra came into view, and tossed aside any remembrance of my journey upon the ancient Grand Trunk Road, at first I only saw 4 massive stone-clad jointed legs. Why? Because the city walks around, I think. Which stood still. I could see enormous furrows raked into the earth, leading up to each leg. Oh, I had heard rumors, of course, but the truth of the vast walking city perched atop its pillar-like mechanical legs left me with only one question. How are we going to get up there? How are we going to climb up the towering edifice entering Agra before it departed? Oh man, we don't have any climbing material. I hope we don't fall off and die. Some of our possessions can be sold here. Why don't we check out the market while we're here? We can get a hooded cloak. Part of the urban set. We have the other part, don't we? We do. A xenotrope, a valuable in Manila, or a safety harness. Let's get the hooded cloak. Our completed city dweller set should help. Help what? Alright, why don't we explore Agra? No, we want to run to Benares, not Calcutta. Oh, no. The perambulatory city of Agra itself was a wonder. The Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan had wished to build a monument to his great love, Mumtaz, and instead of a mere building, he had commissioned a roving city. The vast white granite, magnificent of the Taj Mahal, perched on the plateau atop its jointed fortified legs. That's cool. A fitting monument to love that my Frenchman's heart could not disapprove of. Her sovereignty was a contested matter. The British had laid claim to her, but she passed through independent territories on her peregrinations. Her power source was an enduring mystery, one which still befuddled various European engineers who had made her or their lives work. Maybe they got like a horse or some gerbils like in a wheel that they walk around in and rotates to make the legs go. As for me, I was just glad that she worked. Her safety record was unimpeachable. Can we just ask them to walk us all the way to London? If one did not count the occasional sleeping farmer crushed beneath her granite-clad foot... Uh-oh, we boarded Agra at noon. She would begin walking to Calcutta when we set the sunset, taking us with her on her unvarying circuit. That is so cool. So we're in a city that's just going to walk around? Oh, wait, we've already been to the market. We'll pass the night here. We took a room and settled in. I am going to spend a few hours walking around. Enjoyed my distance from Mr. Fogg. See, that makes him happy. He gets his space. And I get up. When I return, both my spirits and I were much improved. So let us depart. The city of Agra is walking to Calcutta. Good, because then we got to get to Benares. High temperatures. This promises to be a bothersome journey. Oh, this is so cool. The whole city is walking. Don't fall off. One of the scarlet cloaked city officials rang a brass bell. Answering tolls echoed from all corners of the city of Agra. While the city still echoed in my ears, the city lurched underneath me. Tilting first to the left, then abruptly to the right. We were off. The walking city had begun its circuit. Then she settled down into a regular rhythm after a few tottering steps, and by evening I barely noticed the slight tilt and yaw, developing a kind of sea legs. Ooh, relations with Mr. Fogg have improved. We're gonna have a hell of a story to tell people. Greetings, Madame La Navigator. I am one of the city's 7 great navigators. Can you tell me about Calcutta? Calcutta is famed for its art, literature, and theater. Calcutta, well, we do want to go to Chittagong eventually, but we want to go to that other place first. Benares. Can Calcutta get me to Chittagong? Never mind that. Traders in Batavia will pay huge amounts for hunting rifles from Chittagong. Yeah, that's great. But how do I get to Calcutta? What about from Calcutta to Bombay? No idea. But now there's a large artificers guild in the Bombay. You're not giving me good information. You want an apple? Put it in your mouth hole. What a marvelous idea. Now tell me about Bombay. That is beyond my remit, monsieur. Bombay to Rangoon? I want the... No? Aden? Have you ever heard that some... I don't care about hooded cloaks. Play cards. Chittagong. Come on, you gotta give me something good. Colombo. Here's something I do know. Colombo's a very advanced tram system. But you're not giving me anything. You talk a lot, don't you? That lady was worthless. Truth be told, the sound was more difficult to accustom myself to than Agra's. The sound was more difficult to accustom myself to than Agra's multi-jointed gate. A granite-clad feet pounded into the earth with enormous shuddering crashes that we heard even from our rarefied station. And probably the screams of farmers. Ah! I am not looking over the edge. I'm staying in the city center. We've seen what happens when people fall off. The plateau atop Agra's structure had been covered with a thick layer of fertile mud and planted with grasses and flowers, though you could see the iron underneath where a bush had been dug up. A few birds even perched in the trees. But on closer inspection, I realized that half of them were cunning mechanicals, with feathers of interlocking jade and amber and voices of pure gold. That is so cool, mechanical birdies. They sang and chittered and preened alongside their flesh and blood compatriots. It was only fitting for a migrating city with an engine for a heart. I want to go to Benares. Master, what is your wish? Is there something the matter? I will press your shirts. Thank you, passport. That'll make me very comfortable. Oh, it's a good thing we got shirts then. We already asked about Calcutta. How's the money? I'm most concerned about our wallet. We have enough for them. Wait. We have enough for the moment, I believe. What about Calcutta? Have you discovered anything in the Times about Calcutta? They say that the Bengalis are in favor of Indian independence. So that's his job, is to read the damn newspaper while I do all the work? I'm like a Sherpa. He's gonna get all the credit and I'm gonna have done all the work. My master and I take a turn about the top of the deck. Marveling and glistening at the white marble edifice of the Taj Mahal. With all the cool things we've seen, we've got to see the Taj Mahal. bounded by the clear water and manicured gardens. A photographer had set up a booth on the lawn and was doing a brisk trade, taking phototypes of families posing in front of the magnificent monument. It was so quick. He developed, fixed, varnished, and handed the phototype to the customer in a matter of minutes. He glanced over at me appraisingly. "Photograph?" he asked in passable French. £10? Yes. Hell yes. Mais oui. I agreed and then glanced at Monsieur Fogg. I'm going to invite him to join me in the picture. "I think not," he said calmly. "I am quite against the notion of having one's likeness reproduced." Oh, that's rough. Thus rebuffed, I posed alone as the photographer made his equipment ready. There was a blinding flash of white light. That makes me think of Back to the Future 2, when Doc and Marty get their picture taken by the courthouse in the Old West. And by the time my vision had returned to normal, the phototype was already being pressed into my hands, a handsome article. My smile gleamed, almost as white as the marble of the Taj Mahal in the background. I tucked my phototype into my pocket, and we continued about our promenade. Our funds have gone down a tiny bit, but my relations with Fogg has improved somehow. So Chittagong, we can make a bunch of money. Benares too. Maybe we don't backtrack to Benares. I don't know. Maybe we just accept we're not going to make big money on that. I was taking a small digestive walk after a substantial breakfast when I saw a young lady in a bright pink sari. I'm not sorry she's wearing that hot thing. And yellow lens goggles pitch herself over the outer railings. I screamed like a girl. Ah! I screamed like a maiden in a badly written gothic novel before gathering my wits and approaching the railing. I peered over the edge, bracing myself for a traumatic sight, but the woman waved up at me cheerily, suspended from the railing by a length of thick hemp rope knotted about her waist. Thank God I didn't jump after her. I'm gonna wave back. I waved back through my fixed expression, though my fixed expression could hardly have been described as nonchalant, even by the kindest critic. The woman sought me out at the luncheon, by which time I was much recovered, and introduced herself as Dea. Ooh, Mademoiselle Dea, hey. I bowed. A pleasure to make your acquaintance. She laughed in surprise. Your manners are fancy. Hey, baby, you can sit on me, with me. I'm a dick face, as was only polite. But she shook her head. I don't eat up here, she pronounced derisively, before glancing at me with bright mischief. We are a city of many levels. The real Agra is below decks. I'll take you down tomorrow if you want to do more than sightseeing. She's either going to rob me or sex me. Either way, it sounds like a fun time. She swept away into the crowd, leaving me to contemplate her challenge over my meal. Of course, I went below decks. I'm going to find that woman. I'm a man who cannot resist a challenge, and I'm horny for sex with ladies. Dea told me of some of the history and layout as we descended a series of stairs of increasing ricketiness. The upper deck was devoted to the Taj Mahal and surrounding pleasure gardens, which housed the tourists and wealthy pilgrims. Better than pain gardens. Oh, everything's prickers. And was perhaps about 1/10 of the population. We passed the rest as we descended until we suddenly stopped. Oh man, there better not be like thousands of slaves making this move. My guide raised her hands. The sound of the engines was vibrating up through the floor. The walls here were highly polished, inlaid with jasper and sharp calligraphy. And she opened a pair of carved doors, saying with grave ceremony, "Welcome to the lower city." I blinked my eyes against the light, and as they adjusted, I saw where we were. We had come to a township built within the echoing bowels of the city, complete with shops and residences and even children playing games on the streets, though these children tossed adjustable spanners and brass rings. Yeah, how about a child threw a ring at my feet? The ring I saw was old and engraved with measurements. A kneecap, Dea said. We go through 5 or 6 every decade. Dea was clearly a well-known figure and introduced me to her fellow lower city folk with great pride. Almost everybody wore tool belts and yellow lens goggles. So, she said, turning on the spot with hands outstretched, what do you think of my home, Frenchman? I will say it is a fantastic hidden world. I declared. I would not have dreamed such a place existed beneath the box of the upper deck. Deck, I'm sorry. I just wanted you on my deck. Oh, it's awkward. Dea nodded at my response, as if turning it over in her mind. The truth is, I think, that all cities have below decks, my friend, she said. Agra's is just more obvious or less depending. There is something she hinted at in her tone. I hope it doesn't mean she's got a dick. I thought. She smiled weakly. Don't worry, Passapartout, she murmured. I'm not going to eat you. Madame, I didn't think you were. I wanted to eat your lady parts. But before I could finish my thought, the bell rang out for our stop. The room around me exploded into controlled chaos. Uh-oh. Brass-goggled men and women pulled enormous levers, threw open iron gates, and shouted instructions at each other in a storm of languages. The city lurched to a halt, and as the great heart stilled, we had arrived at our destination, the British city of Calcutta. I never saw Dea again. I never scored! That's sad. I am on fine form, but we must make haste. Shut up, master. I was trying to get some. Well, while we're here, why don't we explore? Okay, that is awesome. We needed a route from Calcutta to Chittagong. Ooh. Oh, man. This is a hub, though. Calcutta was an industrial city which had built its wealth on opium, textiles, and indigo. I think I'm going to end the episode right here. So we have like 2 other cities we can go visit, but they're off the beaten path. Calcutta seems to be a hub that if we could do that, we could take that down to the southern tip of India and then around by ship. I'm going to have to contemplate that. We definitely need to go at least to one of the 2 cities. What is it? Gitabudubu or Benares. One of those was the right word. One was the word I made up. So we can sell some of these items. So we can make sure we have enough money for the rest of the trip. But that's all stuff we'll deal with next time. Thanks so much for watching, and take it easy, everybody.